Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking on Captain Clyde's MTG. We got some teasers yesterday from Blogatog, from old Marky Poo, about things that we can expect in March of the Machines. I'm going to do a quick talk about it and kind of give you my shout outs of what I think it means for the format. So, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 peeps, and let's get into it. Starting off with numerous cards that mechanically care about Phyrexians. So I'm going to assume there's going to be Phyrexian Lords or cards that specifically get Phyrexians. We've seen these kind of cards in the past where you get things like get a creature or two ninjas from your graveyard or rogues or whatever, right? So probably going to see that. Now, a double face token, one that transforms, is pretty cool. Um, I think this is just the next evolution of the game where you make a token that can transform instead of just making tokens that are just tokens. The thing that scares me about this is lots of things can duplicate tokens, like the Cadillac, Ezekiel's Chariot, if you don't know what the Cadillac is. So if we have a token that's double faced and transforms, if it's not legendary and you make a bunch of them, that could get very ugly very quickly. So there's that. Next, a card that cost 4 blue and X. We've seen this several times. The most recent one I remember that I play with is a blue card that for 4 blue and then every X is 2, you can steal a creature. So it's actually 4 blue and XX. This might be a better version of that, maybe. We'll shoot that in the dark. A variant of the mechanic returns to a premier set for the first time since it originally appeared. A variant of a mechanic. I don't know about that one. You guys tell me down below. We haven't really had a hey, banding. There we go. They're bringing banding back. Oh my god, that'd be so awesome. It would hurt so much at the same time. There's a legendary creature that returns, not seen since Homelands. So I'm gonna shoot my shot on this one and hope it's this guy, Baron Singir. I am a fan, however, 8 mana doesn't make me that big a fan of him. But this just brings me back. I would really love to see this creature come back. Some form of Baron Singir or the Singirs themselves as legendary creatures. That would be fantastic. So, a creature capable of dealing 11 poison counters. So, I'm going to shoot my shot on this one, and I'm going to say Blightsteel Colossus is getting a reprint. Trample, Infect, it's indestructible. You know, if it's put in the grave from anywhere, reveal, put it back in your hand. But 11 Infect from a Blightsteel Colossus, i.e., 11 poison counters. So I'm going to say Blightsteel Colossus is getting reprinted. So that's going to be fun for everybody, especially those guys in sealed. Anyway, some planes show up in cards names that have never done so before. So this is probably going to be really cool. We're going to get to see things like from Plane Chase for the Commander set, those planes that we haven't actually went to but we've heard about. I think those are going to start getting some cards. That's going to be really cool. Rin returns with a new partner. That's interesting. Rin has been hanging out with Chandra. Not that I think they're going to become one, but I mean, Ren ain't been hanging out with anybody else getting jiggy with it, so yeah. 2 draft archetypes that have a creature type matters component. One which is Phyrexians, see above. Yeah, I think there's going to be a Phyrexian matters kind of Lord deck and maybe something else too that's a creature type with Phyrexia. We'll have to wait and see. We get the 10th Sword of Power. That's right. It's going to be a blank and blank sword. So we get the 10th sword. This should be the last one. I probably should have looked to see which one is left. But to be honest with you, I don't know if I figured it out at this point. There's so many of them. So, also, we have some rules text that'll be showing up on cards. You may cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. That's a very interesting choice, flash or flying. I wonder if that's even what that's supposed to mean. It probably is, but that's just weird. Yeah, anyway. There's an aura, comma, god or demigod card. So we've seen what we thought was Heliod getting completed. So maybe the gods are going to show up as well as maybe completed or non-completed cards. That's probably what's going to be there. Where X is an excess damage dealt this way. We've seen this a lot if you've played Arena lately in the alchemy sets, where a lot of the cards are you deal damage and whatever the excess damage is you get a special effect. Now, something that says this spell can't be copied. With that being said, this must be a powerful spell. This is probably a time lock or something just absurd if you can't copy the spell. Because why else would you not be able to copy it? Probably has some kind of weird implications to eternal formats that if this spell was copied, it'd be way out of hand. So anyway, maybe it's a mana spell where you actually get like a form of dark ritual coming back, or a red ritual or Manamorphose. That'd be kind of cool until we find out how broken it is. But anyway, so activate only if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. That is a very interesting mechanic. We've seen it on a couple cards. It tends to be more trouble than it's worth. However, in Commander, that could probably be fun. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. So again, this is just your basic, you can't cast more than 1 spell a turn, except it shuts down people who don't play Phyrexian cards, while if you're playing a Phyrexian deck, you can do whatever you want. So there might be things like Phyrexian sorceries, Phyrexian instants, so you can cast as many of those as you want. Kind of like Goblin, was it Goblin Fire or something? It's a Goblin instant spell or something, Goblin Tribal. Anyway, so maybe we have Phyrexian Tribal. Maybe that's what we're going to get at. X twice, where X is the number of lands you control. That's probably a red deal damage spell to target creature or planeswalker. Hopefully not player, because that'd be just insane. Whenever a permanent you control transforms, or a permanent enters the battlefield under your control transformed. Interesting. That seems like a day-night werewolf thing. Maybe this is a call to Innistrad card. That would be something that would interact with the Innistrad environment. Anyway, if a opponent protects it, remove a defense counter from it. Alright, so apparently there's going to be defense counters that go on things. Or things that have defense counters that you can remove from them. This is going to get complicated. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and lose a life. That's interesting. Could be cool depending on what color it's in. It feels like a black card. Maybe a little something to get the black-blue decks going. Finally, some Phyrexians in the set. We're going to have a Phyrexian Bear Rhino. Okay. Phyrexian Devil. Phyrexian Dog Warrior. Phyrexian Jackal. Phyrexian Samurai. Oh, now we're talking. Phyrexian Shade. Phyrexian Shark. Phyrexian Treefolk. Phyrexian Vishino. And Phyrexian Weird. Because like all this ain't weird. Some creature type lines of denizens fighting them. Moonfolk Ninja. That's clearly Kamigawa. Aetherborn Vampire. Talking Kaladesh. Fungus Rabbit? Homelands? Dwarf Pilots, definitely Kaladesh. Raccoon Warrior. I remember raccoons from Streets of New Capenna, so I was going to say that's where I was coming from. Goblin Spell Shaper, that could be any set. Wolverine Dinosaur. Ixalan, easy. Legendary creatures, Elder Giant Dog. Streets of New Capenna? Maybe? Legendary creature, Ape, Dinosaur, Turtle. Oh, Ixalan. That says Ixalan all over it. Cyclops, Homunculus. Dominaria? Maybe a chorus set of some kind? Very interesting. So, there you have it. Those are some teasers, some spoilers, and what I think is going to be jumping off to the best of my knowledge that I found. Tell me down in the comments below what you think. I think it's going to be an interesting set. We've already seen a lot of cards come out with team-ups, which is why you probably have Elder Giant Dogs and 8 Dinosaur Turtles and Cyclops Homunculus. Those are going to be creatures that are together with two or more creatures on the same card probably, especially since they're legendary. We all know that. So stay tuned. Starting March 29th, we'll start doing some spoilers and all that good jazz. In the meantime, don't forget we're doing a Diablo 4 run again this weekend for the open beta. Feel free to tune in for the live stream. Well, I try not to get sick again. While I glued to my computer, getting the big D4 going. Giggity. Anyway, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Till next time, be kind. If you haven't subscribed, now is a good time. Other ways to support the channel are linked in the description. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. or actually across from my monitor when I play D4 this weekend. Yeah. Da, da, da.